Hello and welcome back to Sparrows here on Roll for Chaos. The entire crew is back, and I'm sure everything will be fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We now see our captain standing there at the helm, looking over at Lei, seeing this gangplank come down, completely surprised because all of this happened without any wherewithal for Captain Cutlass at all. I'm going to pause for 1 second here and fix Benjamin's camera, because I can see through your shirt. And you know what? Yeah. There we go. That's better. That's better. So we see this ship get in real close here and dock itself with the Archimedes. As the gangplank comes down, you see a couple of soldiers kind of marching side by side with this other individual. We'll actually bring up the ship here. Archimedes, we're going to say right here is where the gangplank comes down. Might as well actually make said soldier walk onto the ship. 1 and 2, flanking the noble individual standing between them. And we've got the crew up front. B is up at the top. Leifei's up there as well, and so is the captain at this point in time. Made his way up. Clarion has stepped out through the doorway on the back side. Is there. Amos is up here next to the cannon with Red Iron and Sparrows over there. Then Carrot is over near Scarborough. There we go. We're all set up as is. So the first person that the nobleman sees as they come walking forward is going to be Red Iron. Are you there, servant? Where's your master?
What, Captain?
Yes, the captain. That's what I'm asking for.
Red Iron just sort of points at Amos.
Strange.
Right this way.
You put a captain and a Lesrin in charge of a nobleman's ship. How quaint. Comes walking over towards you. So, Captain, where is your precious cargo? Where's the Scion?
Scion is currently at the helm, under watch. This way.
Under watch, yes, certainly. Go on, show me. And he kind of like walks behind you. You see the 2 soldiers begin flanking this nobleman as they go walking across the deck with you.
Rapidly, as soon as he breaks eye contact, he's going to beam the rest of the information, the general concept of the conversation, to the rest of the crew.
All right, so everybody else gets the information that this individual is here. Leifei, you're up next to the captain. The captain's standing there, goes, well, here we go. Let's see. Yes, Clarion.
In session 0, we kind of played it as the Lesrin couldn't actually like beam their mind information to me. Is that true or no?
That is untrue. They actually can reach any sentient life with their mind power.
Excellent.
Technically, Lesrin use a version of Mind Aether magic, and automatons that are awakened are magical beings. Even though, you know.
A+.
So, you get that information beamed to you. Are you still holding the paper? Or did you hand it to the captain?
I offered it to him. It's his choice whether or not he took it.
He did take it. And he turns and looks over to the side as Amos, you come walking through the small walkway. He looks down to you. Thank you for the follow, Fax Fox. And he says to you, Amos, just stand off to the side and make yourself ready, just in case. Oh, hello there, wealthy family member, esteemed individual. He kind of bows in front of them. The nobleman turns and goes, and who are you? I'm here to speak with the Scion, not some peasant. And Cutlass goes, you see his teeth literally grind. Yes! Peasant! That's what I am, and I am in your way, sir. Let me extricate myself from your glorious clean presence right at this moment. But first, I must hand you the appropriate paperwork you asked for. And hands over the little signed documentation. The noble immediately grabs it, breaks the seal unceremoniously, and throws it aside and just scrolls it up to look at it. Here goes a roll. Yes. Well now. And B, from where you're at, you hear the voice of Zep nearby. He's not gonna buy it. He's not gonna. Hey, do something!
I got this, Zep. It's cool. Oh, there you are. I see that you found my ship. We're playing pirates.
Playing pirates, you say? Looking up from the page. Can you give me a charming roll to start with, as you attempt to break his, cause a little bit of distraction against him as he's looking at this paperwork? Nice! 16! So, B, he kind of looks up at you after looking at this. You saw kind of a curious, not quite buying it face as he starts looking down at everything. But immediately upon saying that, he kind of looks up at you. Playing pirates. You're doing a fantastic job. Your entire crew looks greasy. So...
Wonderful Mummy and Daddy hired them for me.
Yes, well, I can see that your parents are interesting, to say the least. Who is your mother and father?
Mummy and Daddy, didn't you hear me say that?
But what are the names, child?
Mummy and Daddy?
Oh, for heaven's sakes! Someone here! Seriously! And Cutlass, standing off to the side, goes, I'm just a peasant. I don't know these things. Does anybody else chip in at the moment?
Can I big brain a bit here and try and think of I know in all of my years some names?
Certainly. Why don't you give me a brains roll or an aware roll at your choice. Now, if you use brains, you're trying to remember specifics, things you might have heard in the past or read. An aware roll is trying to remember something you've overheard.
Whoa, overheard. I'm gonna go with brains.
Okay, then. Give us that big brains roll. That is a 17. Nice. So give me just a couple of noble names, and we'll write those down as these fake parents.
Edarin and Uva.
Oh, that's what Gramps and Gramps call them.
Edarin and Uva Welsi.
How was I supposed to remember that?
The nobleman kind of turns over to you. Interesting. I didn't know they had such a young daughter.
You didn't?
Well, no.
Oh, so... sorry.
Are you... Excuse me, what is your name?
My name's Lafay.
Second Lieutenant, you are addressing my crew, you will address me.
Look, the giant lizard thinks he has a voice to speak with. Run along. Adults are talking. So... I will remember you. I'll have to see if maybe we can get you a new position at some point. I would love to have someone aboard my ship to feed me grapes. You're just the type.
No, I haven't done that before. What does it pay?
It's probably better than you're getting here.
Oh, sign me up.
He takes the paperwork and he just kind of shoves it in his pocket and turns back to his soldiers. I've seen enough. Come. We shall return to the ship. and you are free to restock or whatever it is that you're doing. And I recommend to you, what was your name, child?
I'm Beatrix.
Beatrix. Uncouth name. I would recommend in the future that when your parents send you away for a period of time, probably because they need the peace and quiet, that you have a more formal crew than this.
That wouldn't be any fun at all.
Fun, dear. You remind me of my niece. Always getting into trouble. Unfortunately, she's no longer part of the family. Excommunicated. So, certainly, I will see all of you at the facility. I'm assuming that many of you will be staying there with us for some time, with the paperwork here indicating that many of you will be part of the work crews, as well as offloading some scrap materials and fuel for our mining drills. The captain's
Sounds
like,
good.
And then the nobleman turns and just kind of nods. All right, then. So be it. He turns and walks away, clicking at his guards, just trying to get them to follow at his heels. And they make it back to their ship, walking past Red Iron.
We're staring at the cannon.
I
What?
don't like them, Leifei. I don't like them one bit.
I think we are all agreed on that.
The cannons are still loaded. Are you sure we can't just get off on a negligent discharge?
You offered me a job.
We have to take all of their money first, Amos, and then we can blow them all up.
Cutlass
Remember, loot, loot, loot.
Cutlass turns to Leifei and goes, You would consider his job? Yeah, you cut me to the quick here, friend. You're my first mate. So over to Red Iron. You're still there with the cannon. What are you doing right now?
Red Iron's like looking around for either Carrot or Amos. Having been like brushed by the guards and just totally missed the entire scene.
Carrot's standing right behind you. So
Garrett, how many hours has it been?
hours. Since when?
Yes. Since you ate the grape shot.
It's been 12 hours since I ate the grape shot.
Then where's the grape shot? You said I'd have it in 5.
It's stuck.
You're going to have to talk to Clarion about that.
Okay, I'll talk to Clarion about that. You see Carrot like
Amos.
turn and just start bouncing away. Scarborough standing off to the side is like shaking his head.
I feel like Red Iron finally notices the giant ship and just sort of like runs to the edge of the deck like wide-eyed.
From the ship, you just hear horrible noises.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayal!
Red Iron looks over at like the nearest person that outranks, not Scarborough, not Carrot, but the nearest cast member.
I
And
think-
it's just like,
Amos.
Amos is
Definitely
walking
Amos?
back around. Yeah.
Captain, that ship is in pain.
Amos looks it over, bow to stern. I've never seen a more egregious paint job. I've seen a lot of them.
Captain, are we going to do something?
Well, first we're gonna rob them, and if at all possible, and he checks to make sure that no one else other than the crew is within earshot.
Well-
we're going to deal with it.
I do want to make it clear, Lesrin broadcasts all of our communication mentally. You can actually choose targets within 60 feet. So you can never be overheard unless you want to be, or if a being is magical and can interfere with that somehow.
Yeah, he's just gonna beam it straight to him. Ship's gonna be euthanized correctly if they encounter us. He uses the word euthanized only with him. To everyone else, it's mainly just gut the ship, destroy it.
We should do this quickly then, mercifully.
Scarborough off
We
to the
have
side.
No responsibility to the ship for its well-being.
Scarborough off
We
to the
do not
side
have the
turns
manpower.
towards the two of you who are talking about this back and forth. He just happens to be in the crossfire of your two discussions, and he just goes, Are you serious? They just left. That we're out of harm's way, and you're wanting to put us back in it right this second? Like now? You want to shoot them now?
Shh, Scarborough, listen, it's in pain.
I don't care if it's in pain. It's going that way, and we want it that way and not this way, firing explosives at us.
It is not my decision.
Damn right. Oh, gosh. You hear Carrot off to the side. I got it!
Okay, I have a saltwater bath in the engine room. Dip it in that.
I have
Saltwater bath!
alcohol. We are going to use that, and then we are going to set it on fire.
Clarion already has like a swab and rubbing alcohol.
You see Carrot standing up to the side, and Clarion just like cleaning this thing.
I am very grateful that I am able to shut off my sense of smell.
You should be. This is offensive.
I'm not arguing with you, Carrot.
So he cleans the ball bearing and goes like hopping past you down the little stairwell that leads down into the engine room, and you hear a red iron roll aware.
Oh, good. This is gonna be great. I can't wait to see how well my aware roll is.
That is
Excellent.
a 3.
That is a whole 3.
Red iron. The only thing you can tell at this point is a whole bunch of things downstairs are yelling. You just can't tell what any of them are saying.
Well, if we're not going to rescue that ship, then I need to go downstairs right now, actually.
Scarborough just goes, all right, well, you do what you gotta do, and I'll do what I gotta do, and Amos will do what he's gotta do, and right now, bye!
And Red Iron, like all fours, like scutters down into the engine room and deals with whatever that situation is.
You see Carrot halfway into that saltwater bath themselves, kind of dunked into it. Water's gone all over the room. You see like steam rising off the engines. Part of them are just kind of shaking and rattling as water has gotten into some electrical components.
Red just scoops Carrot out with the third arm.
Do you feel better now?
Blech. Tongue comes out, and on the end of it is the ball bearing, shiny as all hell.
Thank you.
Plucks it.
You're welcome.
All right. Out you go.
And then just a gentle toss out the door, and then
As like Carrot goes flying through the air just a little bit, you hear, I was useful! And we see Bicky to like catch Carrot, kind of toss him to the side. What are you doing? Carrot, just go wherever you want to go. Somewhere else, not the kitchen. No, okay? I'm in the middle of making dinner, and that souffle, if it goes flat, I'm blaming you, and I'm taking away your food for the day. Got it? Yes, Vicky, yes. I won't go anywhere near the souffle or the kitchen. Or the kitchen. I don't believe you. I will stay on the ceiling. And you see him just kind of run by and climb up the wall and move through the kitchen area into where Carrot's room is at the front of the ship. Vicky turns, holding this little basket, and walks over and like kicks open the door to the engine room. Couldn't help but hear you were in here. Red, I thought you might want a snack since you've been working so diligently. Hands you over a little biscuit.
Red Iron takes it absent-mindedly with their third arm and then just starts munching on it while they're fixing some like coolant thing and then like shushing it and humming at it.
You see it just like start humming gently, like the purring of a cat. Right in front of you. And you take a big bite, and Vicky turns and starts heading back through the crew, or heading to other parts of the crew to hand these things out. Give me a tough roll.
I get a tough roll?
Yes.
Here we go, y'all. I'm actually good at this one.
Oh.
Not this time, though.
That is a 7. You're chewing upon this bread when suddenly something crunches in your mouth inside of the dough.
Red takes a look.
There's metal shavings in it.
Red starts to like tear the thing apart.
Roll brains.
Curiously.
Brains for me. Oh, another 7.
Jeez, I'm having a bad
All
night.
right. All you can tell is that they are metal fragments of something.
Red puts them in the pile.
Ding, 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 ding. I will say you've gained 1 low-grade scrap you can put on your character sheet.
Yes, everything's coming up, Red Iron.
I thought Becky was supposed to be good at baking things.
She is supposed to be good at baking things.
Oh.
So we pop back up to the top of the deck, and we see everybody else. So the ship is flying away. Captain Cutlass has stepped up to the wheel, kind of moved Leifei aside. All right, here we go, everybody. We're moving on in. Everybody, best behavior. Clean yourselves up a little bit, and pretend you work there when you get there. That's really all we can attempt to do at this moment. And he begins
Yes, Captain.
piloting
I mean,
the
as
ship.
Leifei said, we're in.
It's true. That was not false.
Actually, now that we're in, I kind of missed the next part.
Right. Next part is, and the captain just kind of takes his hat off for a second, kind of fans himself. You can see he's sweating a little bit around the temples and around his jawline. The next part is we get to infiltrate that mine, find the power source fragment of SIL technology thingy. I'm sure it'll be really easy to determine what it is, because it'll look weird as hell. Then we get it out, and we leave without being shot to pieces. That's the next step.
Simple.
Yeah, easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Sounds great.
To quote
I
me.
have
Pick up
a
your
difficult
skateboard.
time believing that, but if you need me to be the 8-foot pickaxe rockbreaker beast thing, I'll do my best. However, I want you to understand that that was a little bit messed up back there.
I completely understand, and sorry for the way you got treated about the whole thing.
We'll get our revenge, Seamus. And then I'll boop your snoot.
And
Sound of Lesrin dial-up.
and his head comes scattering out. So Clarion, as you are standing there, you can see as you get closer and closer equipment all over this space, and you notice a few familiar faces, if you will. Give me an aware roll to see how much you can determine from them.
Okay.
$20. Nice.
Hey.
So, Clarion, what was the name of your first owner? Do you remember?
I always called him Master.
All right.
He had a name. I haven't made it up yet as a player.
Well, if you'd like me to step somewhere with that, I can.
Go for it.
All right. You knew him as Master, of course, and some individuals that talk to him once in a while used to call him Patches.
Okay.
His real name maybe will come to you again at some point in the future. But as you're standing on the deck of the ship, you can see war machines created by his factory actually walking amongst the large scaffolding and things in this mining facility.
I am immediately uncomfortable.
Yep. All right. The ship begins moving forward a little bit further. The only one near to you at the moment that could possibly see that is B, who's standing down below. Do you express any outward, like?
I release Sheldon from his docking station on my back, and my little drone flies up and immediately assumes a protective stance. And B would probably recognize this as discomfort.
Clarion, Sheldon doesn't look happy. Are you okay?
I am not okay, B.
How can I help?
I am not sure that you can.
Streamlabs, I've had enough of you. You no longer have a bunch of options. I just turned them off. Sorry to interrupt your moment there.
Not a problem. But crewmates help each other. I want to help Clarion.
I understand, B. I'm just unsure what the appropriate response to this situation should be. You see, these machines belong... No, they were manufactured by my first master.
Oh, he was horrible to you.
Yes?
Should we liberate them too?
No.
Okay. We will do something, though.
Indeed, I do not wish to run into him.
I'll make sure you don't.
Thank you, B.
All right. So the two of you have that little bit of a conversation where he gets information from Clarion about feelings of uncomfortability in the space. And you float further and further in until your ship moves to dock. The captain finds the position, moves it forward, and says to everybody else, "All right, we need an away team, and obviously we need some individuals to stay behind. I'm thinking Carrot's gonna stay here." Immediately. Vicky.
That makes sense.
Vicky's not a
Understandable.
fighter. Vicky's gonna stay as well. Collins can head with you. I should probably go as well. Unless you got this, Leif. Do you want to go in or do you want me to go in?
You go to Cap.
Alright. So we just need somebody to keep an eye on the ship, basically, but everybody else heading off. Now this could be a little bit interesting. Each one of you is gonna have to probably put on a uniform, go through a little bit of paperwork, and make your way inside. I don't think they're gonna accept you, B, as a worker, since you're... Ah, shit. Amos, they think you're the captain. You are gonna have to bring B with you, and she's gonna be your noble envoy. Maybe you're looking to see the place. Case it out. Never been on a mining asteroid before, right?
That's true. And I did tell them that we were playing pirates.
Yeah.
Yar.
Yeah. All right, well, if that's the case... Crap. All right, then. Collins is gonna stay. You hear, like, the captain go over to a little radio console. Collins, I need you up here. You're gonna have to come up here and watch the helms, make sure the ship stays in place, all right? You got it, Captain! All right. Everybody else. Oh, yeah, I'll call... I guess I gotta get a hold of Red Iron, too. He's gonna know this thing better, and the best, safest way, along with Clarion, to actually transport the damn thing when we get it. We don't want it to go...
I'm behind you, Captain.
Oh, shit! How did we...
Harmony! Stop doing that!
Well, Red Iron, you need to travel with the crew here. Stay close to them, please. And no matter what you hear from this facility, we're on a mission. Got it?
Who am I to speak to?
You're to speak to the alien technology energy source that comes from the sill. Stick with Clarion. And the two of you are gonna follow us. And we're gonna try to find this thing. But there will be a lot of machinery inside of this place and a few other automatons. We can't have you getting distracted. Got it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What is the alien power source's name?
I've never met it in person. You'll have to introduce yourself at that point.
Very good, Captain.
Yeah. Clarion.
How about
Clarion.
we just call it Sylvia for now?
Sylvia. All right. We're gonna go capture Sylvia. Got it. It's a
That is
hostage
beautiful
situation.
name.
Red Iron turns to Clarion.
Captain, I'm with you.
Thank you.
I hate
Please
when he
stay.
does that.
Please stay close.
All right. So now we see the captain, we see Amos, we see B moving together, Red Iron, Clarion, and Lefe. The captain just waves for you to come with him.
All right. He kicks up on his skateboard and follows behind.
I don't think they'll allow that inside the facility. You might want to leave it behind.
Oh, we're playing pirates.
And I don't know a lot of pirates that skateboard.
Lefe's a pirate and he skateboards.
I know one pirate that skateboards.
All right, fine.
All right.
He sets it down, rolls it along towards Carrot.
You see Carrot just like fall belly down onto it, and then start just like swimming across the deck with the board under their stomach.
You're learning.
Yes! So we now have everybody walking along the platforms inside. You see a Silver Shield dwarf standing there with like a clipboard and a bunch of paperwork nearby. He's got his gray coveralls on, covered in dust and grit, a large hard hat with a little bit of light on it. Kind of turns over to you as you all come walking across the deck. And first one, I think Amos is actually in front of everybody right now. So he talks to Amos. All right, there. You're the captain of this little routine you got here, yeah?
Affirmative. Give me a second here. Captain Frothman.
Captain Frothman, eh? So, I hear you got the little lass there that's a wealthy house. Scion. Why would you bring her in here? This place is dangerous and not really kindly to children.
We're playing pirates.
Playing indeed, lass. No disrespect to you or your family, of course, but this is not a playground.
Yar.
If you will permit me to speak, I am a fully trained medical assistant to young Beatrix Wellesley.
Servant bot, good, great. I just want to talk to furniture, right? Go ahead. What do you have to say?
If she were to come into harm, I would be able to immediately effect help.
Of course you would. You're a medical.
See, we're fine here.
We're trying to avoid any potential. We've already had 3 accidents this week.
And
Well,
what were those accidents entailing?
Well, mostly unsafe work conditions, but that's. You didn't hear that from me. As a matter of fact, just ignore it. I didn't say anything.
Didn't hear what? I didn't hear you say a thing.
Thank
Wink.
you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, tell you what. 30 minutes. 30 minutes is all I can give you. All right? You and your scion, wealthy girl, you got 30 minutes to peruse, and then you must be about your way.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
May I boop your snoot, please?
Snoot. I don't
Who
have
knows?
a snoot. If you must.
It'll be really fast, I promise.
You can tell that he's just really not happy with this, but he does respect the pecking order of the noble houses. And you see this big bulbous-nosed dwarf with this, like, scraggly semi-scruff, because he doesn't quite shave all of it like he's supposed to. Kind of lean down. All right, lass, go ahead.
Thank you. Boop. You're wonderful.
Yes.
I will recommend you for a raise.
Thank you. We see B and Amos walk past the crew, kind of moving along beside them. The overseer there, standing at the back end, kind of stops right as Lefe and Red Iron start moving past. You two, Stop where you're at. This docket we received says that you're going to be a little bit of extra crew, and you're supposed to be bringing supplies with you. I don't see them, though.
What do you mean? Crew is supplies, isn't it?
Well, yes, but we were supposed to be provided says here, 20 pounds of scrap.
He looks over towards Red Iron.
Yes, that is coming eventually. However, due to workplace accidents that you have triggered an audit on this facility. I am an engineer. I'm going to have to inspect the grounds. First and foremost, who or what was harmed in the workplace accidents?
Well, now, look what we have here. An auditor. Why don't you give me a charming roll if you're attempting to use your capabilities, or brains roll if you're trying to just be smart about this, I guess. I'm going to say that...
Yeah, Red Iron is going to start, like, launching into a jargonous sort of talk. So we're gonna go brains. We gotta go brains here.
All right, so jargonous talk. I'm going to say... This dwarf is well known, or knows a great deal of policy and procedure, so he's going to have a +2 to his roll against this jargon roll. Critical failure! Apparently he never actually did study the manual, so he's off-put by your appearance. He's off-put by the idea that an auditor would be coming, and he's off-put by the fact that your claw keeps talking, even though... he's trying to ignore it. He is someone that obviously speaks TikTok. And he turns to you and goes, yes, auditor. Well, you see, and he gives you like a list of names, 12 different people, void accidents, unsafe environments, environmental generators that are on the cusp of breakdown at almost all times. There happens to be equipment that is run until the point where it overheats. Some of it has exploded.
Red Iron starts to, like, their, like, lower jaw starts to quiver.
Now, as you're standing there, give me one more aware roll real quick.
Ha! This is gonna go. Everyone get ready to drop a whole bunch of aces on this, y'all.
You do get one reroll for the fail already. It's still sitting there. Oh, you got a 14! Nice. So, from where you're at, you hear... You hear the sounds of the bass screaming suddenly as you focus and recognize everything around you.
Red Iron takes their automaton fist and pounds it on the desk, sending the papers flying.
We have to start from the center and work our way out methodically, beginning with the power source and checking every conduit on the way.
It sounds like a whole lot of work.
Yes. And you won't be there.
I will not. You're right. I have to stand right here and do my job. Good luck with that. He pats you on the shoulder. And then he goes, "Oh,
who's with me? Leifa?
Leife's with you, yeah."
Leife.
All right, Captain, let's go.
And he looks at you, the dwarf looks at you a little strangely and goes, wait. You might want this. He hands you the schematic for the current expansion of the mining facility, but maybe a little bit behind since it's constantly expanding. This looks like it was updated maybe a week ago, so there's probably sections that are currently still cut off. But
Red Iron grabs the page, hands it over to Leifa, and then just like, boom, walks right in.
So Red Iron walks right past you, Leifa, as you open this up, and you see a bunch of blue lines spread all over the place around some sort of three-dimensional object. You can roll aware to see if you can make heads nor tails of it.
Sure, yeah, aware.
The two most aware people on the crew. Here we go.
That is
My man.
You got a nat 20? Holy shit, man. All right. Leife, would you like to know the location of all of the most dangerous points within this station so you can potentially avoid them? Or would you like to know where the sill refuse is found.
Option number 2.
All right. So you don't know where all the dangers are, but you do happen to pinpoint within this map that there is a section just a few hundred feet into this stone where the crater center was at and where there is sill debris. You believe that what you're looking for is there.
Is it nearby where the core is?
Pretty close, yeah.
All right. Can we pit stop it?
Yeah, so you start walking in that direction. You're going to catch up to the rest of the crew. They've now gone a little ways ahead of you, obviously.
Red catches up to the crew, taps Beatrix on the shoulder, and says,
I think I've found a way to find Sylvia, but also I need to audit this place carefully. This is my hell. I am in a living nightmare right now.
Well, then we'll have to take care of that, because both you and Clarion are just in a bad spot.
I can't stand this.
Just horrible noises still just hitting you from every direction.
We'll get you
I'm
out of here as
unsettled.
soon as we can.
I am unsettled, but I will be fine.
I will
Red.
not. This will give me nightmares for the rest of my life.
Then we'll go
Red.
quickly.
I can give you drugs for those, you know.
Huh? Somebody say something about drugs.
Indeed, I
Both
remind you, we are touring a mining site.
Not touring. We're checking things. Well, look at this. We are not just tourists now. And he points out place on the map that he's been like looking through. He's cool. He's this. He's that. And he is Siddle stuff. I think.
Yes, we are
Let's
in.
do some looting.
Let's
Excellent.
be very
Own it
careful
now.
about this.
All
We all know
right.
what we need to do.
So all of you travel a little bit further into the facility. At this point, it is Leifei who knows where this thing is at. Red Iron's kind of pushing everybody forward just a little bit as quickly as possible. And let's see. There's 2.
Clarion would also like to get a look at the map.
All right. So hands it over and points it out to you. There's a large schematic there that shows various different floors in a 3-dimensional space within this building, and you happen to see what he's pointing at. He points out the section that seems to be marked off as, debris from some other thing that has occurred and crashed into the asteroid. And there's a lift that actually leads down to that floor that all of you kind of move over towards. As you're heading in that direction, and you step aboard the lift, some of the other miners nearby kind of walk beside you and just kind of stare at you strangely as the lift starts going down. Oh there, you're an interesting looking group. Are you supposed to be here?
Affirmative. We are supposed to be here. We're here on behalf of the nobility to inspect the plant to make sure everything is up to code as far as workers and standards are concerned. You understand the company I'm around. Engineers, medics, just general inspection. Nothing.
And me.
General inspection, a whole bunch of hoo-ah, if you ask me. You see the other miner next to him just kind of giggles. Yeah. Like you ever gonna get anything actually done around here?
Nope, but it certainly doesn't stop us from trying.
Yeah, try all you want. You know what they really need to provide us with? Hazard pay, healthcare, that kind of thing. At that
blame you.
moment, as you were all sitting there, I need to make sure I know how to use this stupid thing I'm using.
If you lack healthcare, I would suggest unionizing.
So you hear an intercom, loudspeaker go over. The Welsi Corporation would like to remind you that each and every one of you has a responsibility. Each and every one of you has a task. And if you do not abide by those tasks now, the entire line breaks down, work devolves into chaos. We never escape these places, we never finish the job, and you're stuck here for an extraordinary amount of time. Now, none of us want that. We want to return to our families, we want to return to our homes, and it's just not good. So do your work as quickly and efficiently as possible, and no more using medical offices as some form of break time. Those will all now be required to have options to move into medical, signed in triplicate by a supervisor before you can head there. So no more faking these injuries, and if your injuries are not so great that you cannot stand upright, then leave them off the table. And then the voice just shuts off.
Leifei, I don't think I like my family very much.
No, they ain't great.
You reach the bottom of the elevator with a thunk as it like hits the ground, and you see an eddy of wind just suck out as part of the atmospheric generator. Edge obviously comes in a little too close to all of you before going back out again, and you find yourselves inside of a mining area. And I will put something else out here. Gotta make people show up where they're at, because, you know, that's important. Hey, thank you very much for the follow. And here we are. At this point, you all are aware that there is an office section down here that seems to be the location where maybe some supplies were taken. Something important, maybe a generator of energy from the sill. So I'm going to have each one of you now roll initiative to see how we engage in this scene. If you are careful, you can get through here without any problems. If something goes wrong, you might be fighting for your lives shortly. So, in it, everyone. And we've got Clarion with a 14. And we've got Red Iron with a 12. And we've got Amos with a 16. And we've got Leifei with a 31.
Minus 6 of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. 27. And Beatrix with a nat 20. Nat 20 means you go first. You actually also will have one additional standard action for the first round that you choose to go. Now, the individuals within, I'm going to get a couple of rolls out there. 1, 2, 3. We got a 10, 12. Okay. There we are. 1.
Nice roll.
That die just would not stop spinning.
3. That happens a lot when I'm playing in Fantasy Grounds. If you hold Alt, which I use for my push to talk, at the same time as a roll, it quite often will just start spinning your dice. All right, first one to go here is Beatrix. You are on this table up here. Can you move your token if you grab and pull it?
Affirmative.
Okay. So go ahead and explain what you do. There's a miner down here. Not the two that were with you just traveled off immediately. One headed over, was grabbing some objects, putting them in crates. One has moved over to a table where it seems like they're preparing food for others, that kind of thing. And then there's another individual down in this direction carrying a large, like, armful of rocks and stones, carrying some heavy equipment. So south of you somewhere is where this thing is, you believe, according to the map, that may be out of date.
Well, the map is all that we have to go on, at least right now, until Red Iron gets in contact with Sylvia. So B is going to start heading in this direction.
Okay. Now there is a wall in this building that's here, so you're gonna have to go through those little walkways to the left or the right.
Ah, okay, I see now. Let's go over to the stairs then.
Okay. And I believe your move is 6. So you can move up 6 squares with a single move, and then There you go. Yeah. That should be a 6 there. 1
She's
there.
just kind of looking around right now, trying to get a feel for the people. Are any of them, staring? Are they just working? Do they look run down? Could we perhaps foment an insurrection for fun?
Who knows? So the miner that's directly to your left, that is standing over here, you see him just kind of sitting down, and he's just chopping away roughly at some sort of tuber. And you see him occasionally have to grab stuff on the table as it like bounces and rattles and tries to fall off. He was the one that told you on the elevator, on the lift, that things weren't so great here. So as you walk up behind him, he's like, "Getting a good eye shot there, little one. I don't think you're supposed to be down here. Not really."
Maybe not, but I wanted to see how things were going for you. You sounded very sad and upset.
Well, I mean, it's grown-up talk. No big deal.
Obviously, it is a big deal. I don't see anybody happy down here.
It's work. Nobody's happy doing work for others.
Why don't you work for yourself?
That's not how society works. I mean, if you want to have a job nowadays, all the nobility own everything. It's either them or the Empire. I don't really want to be a soldier. Other than that, there's just piracy. And I mean, who wants to be a pirate? That type of life is very dangerous. Anybody could die any minute, thrown in prison for your life, that kind of thing.
Well, from what I gather here, you could pretty much die any minute, and isn't this kind of like a prison?
I mean, not exactly. We do get leave once a week.
So do pirates.
And we move on to the next person real quick. Leifei, you are up. You see Beatrix move over and begin talking to this other individual. What are you doing for now?
He's going to follow the map. He's essentially got his headphones on his ears entirely, and he's just beelining.
So you're just not paying attention as you just kind of walk in that direction. You know you have to go down the stairs, so you head off to the left. 6, you can move to here. So you just walk past B. and just kind of head down, coming around the corner. Give me an aware roll as you are walking with your head down and your earbuds on real quick.
Does it involve sound? Or does it involve...
I'll say this does involve sound, yes.
Okay.
$14. Hold on. Why is that? That's not actually at -5.
It is because I got messed up ears.
Right. Okay. Perfect. So with a 14, you hear like a little scraping noise over the sound of your music, and you feel something whooshing through the air above you. It's coming down very fast. You look up in time to see a rock that has fallen off the ceiling coming straight towards your face.
Jump out of the way.
All right, give me an agile roll to avoid a rock. The rock gets a 4 to hit you.
I got a 14 to dodge.
You just jump aside and it just clacks off the ground and bounces for a second. You see some of the fragments of stone shatter, and a little glint of metal can be seen in the fragmented powder of the stone. You can roll brains to try to identify it by sight alone.
Dangerous. And he reaches down a hand to grab it up out of sight.
All right. You pick it up, and like I said, roll brains. We'll see if you can determine what it is. Nice.
Big brain.
16.
I have not rolled under, like...
So you have a needle, a needle-like shape, something that tiny, that thin sliver of mithril in your hand. That's probably worth like 30 or 40 silver by itself.
It's going in a pocket.
You shove that down in a pocket. Ooh, yeah. Little tiny bit of money just appeared for you. Amos, you're up.
Amos is gonna move 6 spaces. 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I argue this is 6? Right here?
Yes, that's fine. So you move
Okay.
over, huge imposing figure behind that soldier is kind of working at the table. You obviously hear the conversation that B is just engaged in. How do you react at the moment?
I mean, what's he doing at the table?
It looks like he's cutting food to prepare for others. He's going to move it into some dishes surrounding the area. Most of it's raw. It doesn't look like they have... They don't have any way to cook anything because their furnace is damaged. There's a little stove next to them, but it's broken.
What you working on over there?
Oh, cold cota, some broccoli, and some turnips. I'm gonna make them into a salad, and then, yeah, here we go.
You got a knife on you?
Yeah, why?
Let me give you a hand with that.
All right. Never bothered me before handing knives to strangers that are way bigger than me. Here you go.
And he takes the knife in his hand, and they take the knife in their hand and say thank you. Keep having to... Sorry, folks.
Alright.
He starts cutting up the broccoli into small pieces. He starts mincing up the turnip to mix in with everything, and he starts talking.
All right, roll agile for me as you start chopping broccoli. Oh, 5.
I'm
Okay.
gonna burn my 1 ace on this.
There goes an ace. Using it to chop broccoli better.
We had one at the beginning, got another one, so I'm back down to 1.
Yep.
Uh,
Okay, just go ahead and give us a reroll on that agile roll. You need to get higher than a 10 to chop appropriately. An 8 will still give you a rough chop. That is a 15. Excellent job, Jackal. Amos sits there and chops, finally getting some nice little cubes to add into, or julienne, or say whatever you want to call it for the cut. And what do you say to him?
for his size and his stature, for their size and stature, Amos is pretty apt at what appears to be cooking, a bit more so than they let on. As they're sitting there, they start talking. How long you been down here for?
This particular job, or working for the Wellesley family?
He lets out a they let out a deep draconic laugh. Excuse me. Let's just start with this job. We just met after all.
This job. Well, about a month so far.
Got a family at home?
Got a wife that sees me once a month. Yeah.
Sounds like the luckiest woman alive.
Lucky, you could say that. I mean, we get along for a day or so, for sure. It's a lot easier than all the time. I send her my paychecks, and this is life. You see, like, his soul drain from his eyes so suddenly.
They aren't really known for emotion, so when Amos looks up from the cutting board, smiles a little bit, they shrug and they go, I get you there. Whew. You almost got me talking about him. But yeah, I get you. Used to have a buddy of mine, he'd always send checks home to his family. Paramilitary group of all things. You know what they did?
What'd they do?
He lets out a chuckle. So they got the bright idea to punch a hole in a perfectly good ship, stand there, and then wait for a rescue team to follow them. Crazy, right?
That sounds insane.
Certainly paid well.
Well, I mean, never been somebody that found danger to be that exciting, if you know what I mean.
I'll get you there. I never got your name.
Name's Jack.
Jack.
Yeah. Jack.
Amos.
Nice to meet you, Amos. Puts out his hand to you.
They hold out their elbow. Hey, working on food over here. Let's keep it clean, all right?
All right. Like elbow bumps you. All right, we move forward a little bit. In the distance, we hear kind of a walking noise. Red Iron, you pick it up as, let's see if I can do this without messing up my thing again. Work all day, la la la. As something comes marching out of the darkness nearby, you see a metal war machine, just large cannons upon its shoulder, carrying a couple of heavy armaments, and it just kind of starts stalking through the hallway.
Red Iron barely pays the war machine necessarily that much mind because it just looks like another working stiff to them. So just a big old robot walking around with stuff. Can Red Iron hear the broken furnace, or is it not technological enough?
It's not currently making any noise. Nobody's using it for anything.
Well, then I think Red's probably going to go the other way. Thinking they've got it. Yeah, Red'll probably just take, like, a few steps around that way, heading vaguely south in the direction of the war machine.
All right, so you have to walk out onto the platform here, which then I will show you a little bit more of what you can see real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So in front of you, there is a raised platform where people would eat. It's like the mess. It's just a little bit out of the dust and debris. You could see something on the table occasionally, like lift up into the ceiling and then fall back down as that little edge of the gravity well that's in this area caused by the atmospheric generator is going a little bit haywire here and there. So like the plates will just shatter against the ceiling, and then spoons and forks fall down. Then bits and pieces of the ceramic start floating in front of you. There is a little section off to your right. You can jump down. It's only about 5 feet down. So if you'd like to head down there and go through that little alleyway that heads further south, you can do that.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Okay. So you step down and then you move your distance, finding yourself over by a drill well right here. There's a large There's a large tube that goes from the floor to the ceiling, and you can hear stuff just being rattling up through it. You imagine that it's stone and bits of debris and things that they're moving out of wherever they're drilling. That war machine is now right in front of you, and there's a heavily geared miner standing there, full face mask on, covered in grit, dirt, and debris, little flecks of powder and whatnot, and some sort of tiny, shiny black dust that, as it's sitting there in front of you, seems to be speaking to you, but just at the edge of your consciousness. Something very difficult to hear.
Red just sort of absent-mindedly walks towards the worker.
Miner kind of looks up and sees you. Can I help you? He's got the mask on, of course.
So, were you just singing?
Singing?
Were you just singing?
I have a horrible singing voice, so no, I wasn't.
No, your voice is beautiful.
What?
It's a beautiful voice.
Thanks, I guess.
It is low and hypnotic, crawling at the edge of my brain. It is lovely. Yes, there it is again. What is that song?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not gonna do this the whole time.
That's fine. You don't have to.
Where is it? You weren't singing. You're not singing.
I'm not singing. I need an adult. This lesbian is a little strange.
Wait. Hold on. You mine here, yes?
Yeah.
What are you mining? What were you chipping away at today?
He like shuffles his bag a little bit.
No, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
It was that thing. We found the crater inside. I was digging through some of the little scraps of it, pieces of it fragmented off. It's like
Okay.
sand, like black sand.
Yes. Okay. All right. Yes. You need to be more. You need to be more careful with that. Can I brush it off of you?
We just met already. You're gonna, whatever.
It's okay. I'm an auditor.
Oh, you should have said that at the beginning. Go right ahead.
And Red kind of gets, I don't know, some kind of a container and
All right.
scoops it. Do I have a little like hatch in my buddy?
Give me a brains roll. We'll see if you've instilled one to be like a collection tray.
Yeah, like a little collection tray, right? That would be a very smart thing to have, which is why it's a
Oh.
brains roll. I'm using an ace.
No.
Nah, I need this
All
stuff.
right,
I'm
here goes an
acing.
ace.
I'm acing.
You need a good roll, man.
Oh,
come on.
only 2 higher.
Skip
That is only an 8.
All right.
So you don't have a tray in your arm, but equipment-wise, let's see what you got. Maybe there's something you could use to put it in there.
I
Inventory-wise,
mean, like my Tinkerer's kit, right?
the Tinkerer's kit probably has a dustpan. You could use that.
Mhm.
Oh, there's an ace coming from Sanctum Cosplays.
Hey!
All right, go ahead and reroll Red Iron.
All right, here we go. Here comes the silliest ace ever. It's gonna be a 6.
6.
It's a 5. Oh
All
gosh.
right.
Oh, there's a +1. Hey, Doyle just sent over your way.
Now
Oh, you
it's a
wanted a
6.
6. Okay.
Thanks everybody. Now it's a 6. Okay.
Red Iron,
I
you
have.
still
All right, check it out.
have-
I've got a leather kit and I've got
There's another-
Tinker's kit.
Another
Are we
reroll.
seriously?
There's another
we-
reroll coming in.
Are we just piling aces on this?
They're piling it on this far. This is so important. That's a 4. All right, Red Iron, you've got another +1, so you're now sitting on 3 +1s in the back. Even if you put those
All right.
on it, though.
I'm gonna stack
There's a
those.
Rob. Rob has given you a reroll. We're invested now, he says.
All right, here we go.
This is the most important roll ever.
All right. You only need a 12, so if you want to spend 2 of those +1s, I will say
No,
that you were.
I
able to-
don't.
There it is,
want-
Sanctum sending you another one.
Please, no. Why are you doing
All right,
this?
this will be the last one. This will be the last one, everybody. That's a 19.
All to make sure I have a little collection bin.
Now you have
on
a
my
collection.
third arm.
bin. You can store up to 5 pounds of material in this little collection bin.
Red Iron like gently like scrapes everything, all the black dust, all of it off of this guy
Okay.
into the deal.
You're still going to get some of the other dirt and debris, obviously, with some of that, but you do collect that in there. As it touches the inside of your arm and closes down, you hear it still singing.
Oh, I think I made a mistake.
Red Iron says to themselves and themselves alone.
Red Iron, immediately as you hear this thing, your head almost turns involuntarily, and you can feel a pulsing energy coming from a room off to the right of you. Off in
Red
this
pings
direction.
the team. Red pings the team and just sends them the feeling.
Everybody suddenly is transmitted this emotive feeling. Lesrin can transmit images, they can transmit words, and their own emotional state. So as you're all standing there and he sends all this to you, everyone kind of feels this pull coming from a building in the southeast of you.
Captains, I think I found it.
You see the captain standing up to the side go, "Well now, I guess that's where we're headed." Clarion, shall we?
We shall.
So the captain moves in the same direction that Red Iron did and jumps down, heading behind him. Is your turn, Clarion? You gonna follow him or follow the other crew?
I'll follow him.
All right. So you can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can be right behind the captain. You head over in that direction, And you see the machine that's standing there kind of clanking around the corner turn and move its head over towards you. It looks at you for a second. And then it just kind of turns its head back like it didn't see something. You get the strangest sensation that maybe it recognized something, or you're not sure.
Clarion is going to ignore it,
All right.
because if she acknowledges it, then it maybe will send this information on.
We move from this point back up to Beatrix, who was going before. The miner that's standing over there by the table, you've been engaging them in conversation. Amos has stepped over and begun cutting, food and helping them prepare. And Leife is just earbuds on, just walking past. So what are you doing at the moment, B?
Well, Amos seems to have the conversation portion in hand, and we might be able to leverage that sooner rather than later in terms of getting Jack to work with us. So B will go ahead and start heading towards the pole that she was sent.
Okay, so you start walking around the boxes here and heading around the corner. And in the meantime, you saw a little bit more of the area that you're in. So I might as well reveal some of that, which always takes a little bit of time. So there we are. So you come around the corner and you start heading towards everybody else. You recognize that there's a lot of other buildings here. You can see through some of the windows and things, all this underground. You can see a bunch of carts that carry ore to and from on these railway tracks. A lot of them are being shipped up and down these things right now by other miners, by little robotic equipment. You can hear the sound of a heavy drill off in the distance, just kind of vibrating the walls. And before we go to Leife, there's one other thing that we see. We see on a different floor, above everybody else, the noble from before, standing there surrounded by his guards and standing within the compound. He speaks to the guard nearby, that the overseer at the very beginning. So you just allowed these individuals to pass, and they were what now? An auditor, you say? Now, why wasn't I informed of this fact when we were speaking with everybody aboard the ship before? I would have been told, don't you think? And the dwarf standing there goes, I don't know, sir. That does sound a little bit out of the ordinary. I can't say as to why. Did you speak with this other individual? A red, scaly Lesrin, plate on the face. Someone who looks like they've been through quite a bit, to be perfectly honest, but they were on the up and up. They knew all their details. I mean, I swear, it was all by the books. The noble goes, red-skinned Lesrin, you say? Now that you mention it, I do think I remember seeing one aboard the ship, but I paid him no mind. I'm gonna have to check on this. Thank you for your time. You can go back to your business now. You see the noble turn and start walking back out towards the ship. He reaches down into his pocket and pulls out a small device that nobles typically have called an AEC. It is a long-wave transmission device that is incredibly expensive and that only house nobles that have reached certain status end up having. As he picks it up, you hear him type in a few numbers and you hear a little crackling static. Yes, I would like to speak with Edarin Welsi, please. I need to speak with him about his daughter. And the scene fades back. Leife, you're up.
Oh man, this is gonna be so much on the market. He puts the piece of mithril in his pocket and doesn't put his chains on. He's following behind B.
Gonna move right up behind B, heading the same direction?
Yep.
Alright, you proceed to walk in that direction. And as you get closer to this, because of your unique ancestry features, you can roll aware once more. This one is not a sound-related thing. Or you can roll... No, actually, you'll be rolling magical. Excuse me. First magical roll of the session.
Oh. Time to get all magical.
Critical failure! Leifei! Leifei! Do you want... There's a reroll from Sanctum right away. You can roll that again, Leifei.
Thank you, Sanctum.
We did use the ace you left before Annika, I believe. Leifei gets an 18 minus 1 is a 17 this time. So Leifei is an elf. And as you walk in this general direction, you immediately feel a pulsing energy waving against you. Something very potent magically is in the direction. As a matter of fact, something that feels similar to maybe some form of greater eternal. Something deep within the recesses of magic. Something ominously strong.
Here, in this mine.
Yes, in the direction of the building you're walking towards.
B. He pulls his
Yeah.
headphones back.
What's up?
You're gonna make so much money here.
Perfect.
So much money, yeah. All right, Leifei, you have passed on the walk there. Amos, you're back up. You are working side by side with this individual, helping to provide dinner. You make a rather well-created salad, and the miner standing there next to you goes, "Thank you for your help, by the way. I don't have to do quite so much work this way. Would you like to partake? Are you hungry?" You're muted if you're saying something. Uh-oh. No audio. What happened?
Check, check.
There you are. You're back.
Check, check.
You're there.
I hear
Shifting
you.
in their seat, Amos looks over to Jack.
Yep.
Inside, and Amos goes, "So, part of the reason we're here is we're here with the company to move an object all hush-hush like. Just wondering, did you find anything odd down here?"
Move an object all hush-hush like, eh? Roll charming for me. Let's see if you can convince this individual to give up some information that might make them in a lot of trouble. Roll target to beat this individual is a 14 or higher. You got an 11. Ah!
I'm going to use my... Ooh. I got a 13 if I use my 2+1s.
Yep, you'll be one shy. There's a +1 from Annika. Although you have gotten an ace to reroll from Sanctum, so you can reroll first.
I think I'll reroll first. By the
All right.
way, thank you, Sanctum.
Here we are with the reroll, seeing if he can convince this individual to give up. Nice! That is a 14 or higher right there. You still get your +1, and you have succeeded. The individual turns over and goes, "Now that you mention it, yeah, there was a thing. The other day we were out there drilling in the southern quadrant down here, just down the hall, and maybe 100 feet below. We came on this like black. I want to say it looked like an obsidian crystal. Basically, it's like a black. How quartz grows in those big columns and whatnot. Whatever it was, just crashed into the center of this place, blew the whole hole you can see above us like clean out. It dug all the way down. Whatever this thing was, it was very hard or moving really fast. I'm not sure what it was. But there's this piece of it that we were able to like chisel off. We had a few individuals go down there and start pulling on it with miners put in their little hammers and picks, and we just yanked that thing, levered it right off, a couple crowbars and things like that. But it evaporated to them when that happened. They got it stored over in a cold storage box. It's a mithril container. It's over inside of the storage compartment over there. The mithril on it, though, is starting to corrode away, so that's a really weird thing.
Then I'd hazard it would be a good idea to get it out of here pretty soon. Do you know the way?
Well, yeah, it's over. You just gotta go around the corner here, and I can come with me. Let's go. And Jack proceeds to walk around the corner, and then comes behind the bee and Leifei. It's coming right. They're heading right towards you. Everybody's kind of going. There's a lot of people all heading in that same direction. The war machine.
Would, let us through.
I'm sure. I mean, the door shouldn't be locked at the moment, unless there's some sort of lockdown type thing that happens. So right in front of Red Iron, there's that war machine. As it kind of turns and walks down the hall, clang, clang, clang. It turns over towards Red Iron.
Move aside.
Okay. And Red just sort of like gingerly steps around politely.
It continues walking past, heading down the corridor just a little bit. And Red Iron, as you're sitting there and like watching it and then moving forward, you see the security thing stop suddenly.
Awaiting further orders.
Excuse me.
Lockdown in 5.
And we see a scene switch to the noble upstairs, talking on the AEC. What do you mean you have no daughter? This whole thing's a ruse. I'll talk to you later. Hangs up on the AEC thing, turns back, and then runs over to where he can turn on the whatever the heck it's called. You know the thing people talk in? Intercom. He goes over to the intercom and he immediately hits a button on it. We have intruders inside of the facility. Lock everything down. Everyone that is here, if you do not assist with collecting these intruders and bringing them to our security forces, will be docked 2 months' pay and all leave. That is all. And you see him turn back and yell out to his security forces. You see Carrot and you see Cullens on the ship looking up. Cullens goes, oh, shit. And you see them immediately yell out to Carrot, get us off the dock! Get us off the dock! And you see the 2 ships nearby begin moving around, turning into position for cannon fire. And we move back downstairs as that security bot's eyes turn red, and it turns back. Well, it looks at the nearest threat. It assesses and sees Red Iron as the nearest threat because B's a child.
You are no longer authorized to be here. Lay down any weapons you have and come with me. Lethal force has been authorized.
Nah. Do I get a turn here, or?
It is Clarion's turn, and it'll be your turn soon.
Okay.
Is this robot going through puberty? Because its voice kind of broke.
Its voice is cracking. All right, Clarion, you're up. You're behind the captain. You see Captain Cutlass go, well, plan B, everybody.
I mean, he keeps us cool.
All right.
Sound of Lesrin sighing.
So everybody now has 2 standard actions and 1 reflexive action per round they can use to do things. Standard actions can be used for movement, for attacks, for abilities, that kind of thing. If you wish to activate your Tinker's Assistants, they have their own movement on your turn. So,
Yes, Clarion immediately activates Sheldon. And I think she's going to try to see if this security robot has well, it certainly has a remote. Can she hijack the frequency?
you can attempt to. That would use a magical roll and potentially chaos.
Ooh.
It's something outside of your normal skill range. You're doing it without actually accessing a console or anything like that, but you have a chance, just using your own innate capabilities.
Yeah, actually, I think she would try to reach out to this thing, seeing as it comes from the same place she does, even though she doesn't trust it.
Okay, so you're going to try to hijack the War Machine's signal. I will have you
Yes.
make a magical roll. If you get lower than a 5, naturally, chaos will occur. If you get higher than a 5, you will then have to roll against, well, it'll be against the resistance of the target to see if you overcome their systems.
I am embracing the chaos, as chat is encouraging me to do.
Chaos, here we go. 5! That is a chaos table roll. So,
Lovely.
Here
What
we
is
are.
that, 2d10?
Now, here you go. There's a table that pops up. Just click on the die in that, and we'll see what occurs. Target of the ability, or a random target in the affected area, physically changes into the first person they think of after this occurs. They have the same likeness, voice, etc., but no other features or knowledge. So, you're attempting to... Okay. The War Machine disappears suddenly. And you see 2 red irons now in the room.
Beautiful.
And that would be your action. For the first one, you can still use your drone. You have activated it. So
Well, that is certainly an unexpected outcome.
the drone floating off of your shoulder goes,
Holy shit.
Sheldon, language.
I'm sorry.
And I would like to send Sheldon over to hover over the one I know to be the real red iron.
Suddenly there's a little drone just buzzing right around your ears. Red iron.
Sheldon,
Hello.
it's good to hear from you.
I have not seen you in 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 36 seconds.
I don't need an update every time.
As you say.
Clarion has explicitly instructed Sheldon to keep giving updates.
To keep giving updates. All right, so you have used your action, and Sheldon has moved and is in position. I'm assuming you're gonna have Sheldon keep track of the current red iron and potentially defend them.
Yes.
Okay. And we move down.
Oh, and if would moving be one of those actions? So
One was actually engaging Sheldon, and then the other was
Right.
trying to control the creature. So you've used all of yours.
gotcha.
You still have
Okay.
your reflexive action, which refreshes on your next turn if you need to use it, if you have something you can do with it. In the area that you're in, the only reflexive action you have available to you is either counterattacking against someone who attacks you, or diving behind cover if it's close enough, which is within 5 feet. You are currently within close enough range you could move for cover if someone fires at you.
Okay.
So, first things first, the miner standing in front of you that you brushed the dust off of, Red Iron, hears that update, looks a bit confused. We're going to see how much this individual wants to get paid and have leave. Quite a bit. So he immediately turns, reaches down into his bag, grabs out a large pneumatic pickaxe, and then lunges forward and swings it at you. I'm sorry! What are you attempting to do?
What? Sorry. What are my options again?
So you can just defend, which is just, you don't have to do anything to do a defense other than just rolling for it. Or you can try to use reflexive action if you have one of some kind to defend yourself. Your Tinker's Assistant
Wait a second.
can
Oh my
jump in
God.
the way.
Could I use a reflexive action to duck around to the other side of this concrete tube with all of the stone and rubble pouring through it?
Yes, you can. Since you're close to cover, you can duck and cover with a reflexive action. So that will give you a +2 to your defense roll. So just roll defense, add 2, and you'll move.
Roll defense.
That is on the front sheet. It's the top one with all those little tiny bubbles there.
There's lots of bubbles. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. I found
It's
it.
just the one
Thank you.
right under your picture, yeah. The opponent attacks you and gets a 10. You got a 5. Hold on. Oh, right. That's because it's related to your agility. And you actually are only at -2, so that should have been a 7. You are gonna get hit. You are 3 low. However, your Tinker's Assistant can protect you if you'd like it to take the damage instead of you.
Nope.
Okay, then. Our miner swings in with the mining hammer and is going to do 1 point of damage to you on your, looks like, right arm. Left arm.
Right arm. And that's going to take away one of my armor then.
Yeah, so he swings in, you jump to the side, it just barely scrapes, and you see some of your armor just get shredded off. Sparks go flying through the air. But you are not actually harmed by that swing. Glancing blow. Next up, we hear shouts coming from within the building. People are trying to figure out what the hell is being even talked about. We see a miner step out into, well, beyond a window. So you see him inside of that building. You see the one that's down on this side, seeing all of these strange individuals inside. We're going to roll to see how much he wants pay and time off. About the same amount. So this one is standing there, and he goes... He reaches down, he pulls out a Sparrow pistol and like points it over kind of shakily at Amos. Hey, you there? You there? You're not supposed to be here. You have to go to security, okay? You see that he's very obviously not used to using this weapon.
Can Amos do anything to respond?
You can
I feel
say
like they would respond from
you can say something in return. Or you can use a reflexive action. As a battle scarred, you can dodge roll reflexively, so you can move in a direction you want, or you can parry with any object at hand, even against ranged attacks. You could parry bullets and stuff if you needed to.
They are definitely going to pull the gun, just clear the chamber, eject the round, stuff it in the belt for safekeeping.
So you grab your gun or their gun? You're trying to grab theirs?
I'm using lightning parry
Okay.
to disarm him.
Okay. You won't be able to use lightning parry to disarm him because he's not near you. The one that's attacking you is this one over here. But you can jump to him and then try to do it without... Yeah, you can jump to him and try to do that on your turn.
Okay. Then Amos is going to look at them and just go, I really would appreciate if you didn't do that.
Just tell him not to. Why don't you roll strong for me, and we'll see if you intimidate him just saying that. Nope. Unfortunately, that is a 5. So the soldier looks at you, hand shaking, and he's just like, I can't miss out on my family once more. Amos gets a reroll from Anik. Go ahead and reroll that strong. Change of mind. 22.
Are you absolutely sure about this?
You see him like the gun just falls out of his hand, tink, 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 bounces across the floor. He turns and proceeds to start moving away from you.
Before he does, they stop him and go, as far as we're concerned, the gun malfunctioned, and you're running to the armory.
Yeah, whatever you say. He starts running away. Red Iron, we are back to you.
Red Iron leaps violently into action. Let's see here. That's not an easy get. I can't really get to the other red iron very easily, can I?
It's only 5 feet away, so yeah, you could actually.
Red iron leaps on top of the other red iron. Can I? How are the grapple rules? How complex are they?
Not very complex. Just opposed to agile and strong rolls, depending on what you're attempting to do.
I would like to grapple this other red iron, preferably into a confusing roll, so that it's hard to distinguish between the two of us, and then
Let's make it
activate
confusing.
and then activate my my assistant.
Okay, so you jump over to grab a hold of him.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll your. And you're trying to do this lithely, or you're trying to just pin him?
Trying to get a pin going.
Okay, so roll strong. Your opponent gets an 8.
I can never touch the button.
What's that?
There we go. Got it. 18.
You got a 19 total. So Red Iron leaps over with feral viciousness, tucks and rolls onto this individual, and suddenly is pinning the other Red Iron to the floor. But now we don't know which one is which. They are.
And then does my buddy get to act now?
Yes,
If
your
I
arm.
activate him using overload.
Use one action to jump this enemy, and then one to activate your arm. So now Graspy's coming out.
So the arm activates the PDO elemental ability.
Oh boy.
So the way it looks, there's 3 little like mouth things on the Graspy arm, and they start like spinning rapidly, and then there's like a fireball forming at the end of them, and then it just grabs the other Red Iron's face.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and make a roll with your PDO there. So you have the rolls on your ability stat at the bottom. So C roll is what you're using. The opponent is grappled, so they're at -4 to their defense. And oh man, you only got a 9 with your PDO roll, but we got a spinning die. See what happens here.
I believe in you, spinning die.
Your opponent gets a 2. So PDO does hit, does do the elemental damage. Go ahead and roll elemental damage.
That is 2d6 plus brains, right?
Yeah, it should be on your front sheet. On main.
Yeah, they didn't like live. They didn't stay in there.
We can drag those over. Elemental 2d6.
I got them dragged. Here comes the elemental damage. Here it comes. It's not going.
You can drag it from the box that the damage is in, or double click in the damage box. There you go.
Haha! Got it.
6 points of damage, right across this thing's chest at this point. So it's a total of 10. Ooh, nice hit. Let me see. Normally, these security war machines have armor, but because it turned into you, it doesn't have armor hit points because it doesn't have those. Yeah, so you just put it down there. The hand comes over the top of it, and you see the thing's face start burning away, and where it should be, skin, bone, flesh, you're seeing metal begin melting, and it's like the insides of your own face were replaced entirely with a machine. And you see it just kind of burning away in front of you.
Red Iron gets a little bit of satisfaction seeing themselves represented internally as a machine. That's actually kind of a satisfying moment, despite cruelly destroying this thing.
We hear the sounds of others begin running into the room, trying to figure out what the heck's going on. In the distance, we see a room full of security machines all like attached into these charging docks. Suddenly they're just stepping off of it, and they're just starting. You see 3 or 4 of them kind of come out of their chambers and begin walking in your direction. We pop back up to the main floor where we see Cullens piloting as well as he can as cannon fire goes off. And gunshots, cannonballs scatter across the surface of the Archimedes. You see a bit of the banister just shatter away. You see Carrot on skateboard suddenly just zing in some direction. And as we see him flying at the camera, we fade to black as tonight's episode of Sparrows has ended. Thank you all for being here tonight. I hope you have enjoyed yourselves. And we're gonna go go back to our regular narrative screen. We're gonna go around the table. We're gonna say our farewells, where you can find us, and be ready for you all next week. So, first things first, we're moving over to where we started off last time. Leifei, why don't you go first? Give us who you are, where we can find you, what other kind of stuff you're going to be doing in the future, and if you would, one moment you enjoy from tonight.
Well, you can find me aboard the ship of the Sparrows most of the time. Otherwise, you can find me on the deck. But you can find me, Kairoshe, on Real Kairoshe, or Dice Turns on Saturday, playing somebody that's not as cool or charismatic or great or ninja. Or Rafe on that one. That's during the Tomb of Annihilation game. And I most definitely enjoyed every interaction that Red Iron had with Carrot, the little lad. It's not an antithesis. It's like they just sort of work well together, strangely.
Excellent. And speaking of Red Iron, we're gonna move on over to you.
Hey everybody, I'm TT Benjamin. You can find me on Twitter, TT Benjamin 1 on Twitter. You can find me on one of the other 3 programs that I participate in. Every other Monday, I am part of a music podcast called You Probably Haven't Heard of Them. Check them out, YouProbcast on Twitter. On Tuesdays, I play Jaber Valjean on Shared Experiences, Ripples in the Gray. That's a Star Wars Fantasy Flight. That's a blast. Check us out on Tuesdays. That's a good time. I'm the pilot. So, and it's also a space pirate game. So I'm getting typecast already. Thursdays, I release my sort of personal flagship project, Lawful Great Adventures, a Pathfinder First Edition podcast. We've been going for over a year now, 55 sessions. We just finished our second full campaign arc. It's a blast. It's a great story. It's really good. Check us out at great_lawful. And then Fridays, I'm right here with my new best friends, playing the weirdest freaking character I think I've ever played in my life. And you know what I really liked? I really liked Leifei and B's energy. That I don't know. That was very fun for me. I also really like Amos like a lot. and Clarion, but I just like everyone. I'm just really happy to be here. Okay, I'm muting.
Just keep going. Just keep going. Your turn can be for a lot longer if you want. Beatrix, over to you.
B is always here and always friendly. Gwen is also often here on Roll for Chaos. Obviously, I'm a mod normally. So if you're in the chat, I'm probably saying hi to you. I am also working on the lovely, wonderful Roll Charisma here on Tuesdays. Definitely check that out. Next week, big show. We've got both Big Bees and, for her face reveal, his wife, Lady Bees.
First time ever. First time
Yup.
ever.
Amazing.
And there were so many good moments tonight. I have to say, though, I think Clarion trying to counsel Collins about his hand was just chef's kiss.
This was
Thank you.
a hell of a lot of fun. I enjoyed that as well. On over to Amos.
Hey folks, I'm Mac Jekyll Ranger. I play Amos Nascendi. Favorite moment of the night was just the noble getting on the boat, talking to everyone. And that bearing, that gosh darn bearing.
The bearing.
As someone who tries to take things apart, clean them, and put them back together, that bearing. Oh, that is energy.
I loved how quickly you went along with, Red Iron calls everybody captain, so suddenly you were the captain of the ship.
I mean, someone's got to play the straight man.
Moving on over to Clarion Bell.
Yes, I am Nora playing Clarion Bell, who is apparently has been requested to become a GPS voice. So, I mean, hit me up with the requirements to do that because I absolutely will. And you can find me, Nora, on Twitter at Azedadine. It is spelled the same as my username. I mostly retweet random things. And I also play Corlina Firetree, the Southern Belle, Glamabard on Cornfields and Kobolds, which is a 5th edition live play podcast, which can be found on any of your favorite podcatchers. And I am soon appearing on a new arc using the Quest RPG for the podcast Not Quite Heroes. So you will all get to meet that character soon, and I had a lot of fun with that crew too.
Well, I have to say, I am incredibly impressed with your whole everything with this. The character, with the voice, with all the makeup. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That has got to be not that comfortable too. Oh, goodness. But yes, you did so well. Everybody here, I love all of you. I love all the outfits. I love all the characters, and I look forward greatly to our future with the games here. Of course, I am Tiberius. I created Aether and Steamworks, the game we're playing tonight. If you want a copy of that, check it out over at DriveThruRPG. More content is always being launched as I have the time to make it. But I run this game here. I am the producer for Roll Charisma. I'm tired too. And that's on Tuesdays at 7:30 Central Time. Then we've got next week. Yeah, we're going to actually have both of these shows next week. So on Thursday, we're going to have Dreams of Silver and Stone at 8 Central. And then this game again, 7:30 Central on Fridays for Sparrows. Keep an eye out on our channel for a couple of one-shots. We're going to be running some new things here in the future. And every third week, we'll probably be running something like another 10 Candles. So keep an eye out on that. Keep an eye on all of our content. Thank you all for being here. We love all of you. We appreciate all of you. And it's a lot of fun having all of you throw rerolls and stuff all the time. Thank you again. Have a good night. And I'll see if I can find somebody to raid if you want to stick around and get a few extra critters in your pocket. Thank you again for watching.